honored to host you for this 25th edition of the Tech Tour, and for the third time in Switzerland since 1998. The Tech Tour is a selective and intensive matchmaking agency for promising companies and cross-border investors. By financing the international expansion of Swiss-based technology companies, we're concretely contributing to sustain this research alive in this country.
During the next 2 days, our international delegates will be able to extract the key trends that can influence the development of technology projects in this country and convince them that the opportunities are there and that the local challenges can be overcome.
We believe that this Swiss Tech Tour, is an ideal opportunity to share our conviction with all you venture capitalists from abroad, and hopefully to co-invest together in Swiss tech companies.
Investing in Swiss-based and international tech startups and growth companies is in fact not just an afterthought, it's an integral part of Swisscom's strategy.
I actually don't know most of the companies, so I'm very excited to learn about them.
We need to develop an ecosystem in the tech area in Switzerland and abroad, and this is a very good step in that direction.
It's always very good companies with very good presentation, going straight forward to what interests us as VC.
We're opening up new market segments to younger and younger patients. Historically, you would say, oh, 50 years old, you're too young to have a hip replacement. There are now technologies out there which are being used, which enable us to operate on younger patients, still being able to take them through to the end of their normal, natural life with a hip replacement.
Admittedly, this isn't exactly our business. Our business is the millions of freight containers that our economy depends upon. So you can do it, but you need a lot more volume to travel through.
If we look at our business development, we started as being engineers, and what we did first is R&D, that's clear, for both loudspeakers and headphones.
Axionics is basically providing an internet passport, a biometric internet passport that combines convenience and security.
CSCM is a company in Neuchâtel that was created in 1984, active at the time in the domains of micro, nano or microelectronics, nanotechnology somehow, and information technology.
Traditional analog audio is rapidly being converted completely over to digital music. If you look at the numbers for music revenue, it's about 10% of the world's music is digitally downloaded or transferred.
We are a spin-off from the Polytechnique, formed 10 years ago. We have still the innovative spirit in our company, and by that create leading technology for positioning information. So the idea is that somebody exposed to advertisement can take a picture of it with mobile phone and gets information about the product or reduction or coupon from that image.
And its role is to provide information risk services to organizations. So for example, we are typically called upon by banks, by governmental bodies, by multinational corporations, and we help them manage their information risk.
Datamars is already a dominant player in both markets. I specifically did not put any percentages in here because that always triggers discussions, but it is beyond 50% in the European market for sure.
It works very similar to a bat. So the bat usually is emitting out ultrasonic waves, and then based on the echo, he can measure distances. Our camera is doing exactly the same thing, but not with ultrasonic waves, but with electromagnetic waves.
For the deployment of triple play or content subscription services in a home, connectivity is obviously key. And key is a technology that requires no new wires, and therefore wireless technology is the way to go.
A business question is, for reinsurance companies, for instance, which products of Novartis have currently or might in the future have potentially legal problems?
With ZeroAmp, you can actually end up with the overall solution on SOI being lower cost than on normal bulk silicon.
B2B side, classifieds and advertising media, or let's say media asset management, and additionally we are going to the B2C market as well.
The investors in hedge funds, so the people who are making asset allocation decisions to place their money in a hedge fund or in a traditional fund. They will both advise that they should invest in in-house product as well as third-party product.
So we can simulate, for example, for a human body like muscles, flesh, claws. So after the application of the technology will depend on the people that's going to use it.
To zoom in on the field we're in, those of you familiar with life sciences, high throughput biology experiments will recognize this format as today pretty much the standard.
And when I'm saying it's industrial resource sales for startups, I should say for medical device startup companies, not for other companies, ITs or so what, because something that we have to manufacture a product. That is the idea.
We have in our history a couple of very big successes. I always like to remind that Logitech was started here. And this is, of course, we would like to see more of those.
Previous companies has activity in the US and activity in Lausanne. And we started BIM Express SA, which is now a Swiss company based in Lausanne and registered in Canton de Vaud.
We developed in the last 7 years with more than 45 million euros a payment system which is the European paper like we were introduced here.
If you can reverse engineer this chip, you have the secret to how the human being
functions, and that allows us to all sit here and do hopefully intelligent things.
Both in terms of content quality and program intensity. I think that you would agree with that, which was a full immersion in the Swiss technology and cultural fabrics. I think we've done more or less everything that we can do in Switzerland in 48 hours.
It's a great way to meet everyone in the VC community. There's some great companies out in Europe, and a lot of them are here. The selection committee makes does a great job at finding great companies, and that's demonstrated by how many who've gone forward and succeeded.
Events like the Tech Tour are, for me, one of the premier events to actually get an insight into one of the European countries and understand better what kind of companies are active there. And especially with what I've seen here, the quality of the selection or pre-selection process of Tech Tour gives me a lot of confidence that my time is well spent.